Simplicity begins with subtraction. Look closely at what's in front of you, your work, your ideas, your routines, and ask, what can I remove? We often think adding more will improve things, but in truth, it's usually the things we remove that unlock clarity and power. Great design, art, and innovation often come from the courage to let go. Eliminating the unnecessary is not about doing less for the sake of laziness, it's about clearing the path for what truly matters. When you strip away distractions and clutter, you create room for focus, beauty, and purpose to shine. Steve Jobs understood this deeply, shaping Apple's products into iconic symbols of simplicity. What's essential? It's a question many avoid because it forces hard choices. But when you know what's most important, you free yourself from the burden of everything else. Essentials aren't just things you like, they are the core drivers of your success, happiness, or purpose. By focusing on essentials, you build strength and clarity into whatever you're doing. Whether you're designing a product, creating art, or planning your day, knowing your essentials keeps you grounded. Jobs mastered this by relentlessly narrowing focus, one product, one feature, one mission at a time. Complexity often looks impressive, but clarity is what makes impact. People trust what they understand. Whether it's a product interface, a business plan, or a conversation, clarity helps you connect, communicate, and deliver. Clarity is a choice. It requires you to think deeply, remove jargon, and explain things simply. Jobs and his team spent countless hours refining Apple's message so that anyone, from a teenager to a grandparent, could grasp the value immediately. The best designs need no explanation. Intuitive design feels natural, almost invisible, guiding the user effortlessly from point A to B. Jobs pushed Apple engineers to make products that just worked, no instruction manual required. Intuition is about understanding human behavior, anticipating needs, and building around them. When you make things intuitive, you show deep respect for your audience, making their lives easier and more joyful. We've all heard it, but few apply it. Less truly is more. By doing less, you create space for excellence, mastery, and depth. Instead of spreading yourself thin, you give your full energy to what matters most. Jobs embodied this by focusing Apple's efforts on a handful of products, each polished to near perfection. Less distraction, less waste, more brilliance. This principle can transform your work, relationships, and personal life. It's easy to get caught up in technology or trends, but at the end of the day, it's humans we're serving. Jobs understood that every device was ultimately about improving the human experience, not just packing in features. Designing for humans means understanding their struggles, hopes, and desires. It's about empathy. When you design with people in mind, you create things that are useful, meaningful, and enduring. Every friction point is a potential frustration for someone using your product, service, or idea. Jobs demanded relentless refinement to make Apple products smooth and seamless, removing every bump in the user experience. In life and work, friction also shows up in unnecessary rules, inefficient processes, or poor communication. Removing friction is a gift. It lets people flow more easily toward what they want or need. Restraint is powerful. Knowing when to stop, when to hold back, and when to leave something simple creates an elegance that's impossible to fake. Jobs was known for pushing minimalism to its limits, and it paid off. Restraint forces you to trust the strength of your core idea. It signals confidence, not weakness. When you resist the urge to overdo, you let beauty emerge from simplicity. Editing is where magic happens. It's where good turns to great. Jobs was a ruthless editor, whether cutting features, refining design, or perfecting presentations. He knew the audience only sees the final product, not the effort behind it. Being a good editor in life means constantly reviewing what's working, what's not, and having the courage to cut what no longer serves you. Ruthless editing sharpens clarity, strengthens impact, and deepens focus. Space is not emptiness, it's design. Apple products, with their generous use of white space, taught us that space guides the eye, creates calm, and allows beauty to breathe. In life, using space wisely means leaving margin in your day, room for silence in conversations, and space in relationships. Space creates balance and makes what's important stand out. Big words don't impress, Simple words connect. Jobs was a master at communicating complex ideas in a language anyone could understand. Simplicity in speech is about respect, clarity, and reach. When you speak simply, you remove ego and build bridges. Whether in business, family, or leadership, the ability to simplify your message is a superpower. It's tempting to be a jack of all trades, but mastery comes from focus. Jobs wasn't trying to be everything to everyone, he wanted to make a few insanely great products. By mastering one thing, you create a ripple effect. People trust you, remember you, and come to you for excellence. Focused mastery makes you stand out in a noisy world. Just because you can add more features doesn't mean you should. Over-engineering leads to complexity, confusion, and waste. Jobs constantly push teams to simplify and streamline. In life, over-engineering shows up when we overcomplicate decisions, plans, or projects. Keep things as simple as possible, but no simpler. Every great product starts with empathy. Jobs believed that if you understood the user deeply, you'd make better decisions. It's not about what you think is cool, it's about what helps the user. In relationships and work, staying user-centered means asking, how can I help? How can I serve? It shifts the focus from ego to impact. Beautiful design means little if it doesn't work. Jobs famously said, design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works. In life, too, function matters. It's easy to get caught up in appearances, but true success comes from delivering value and solving real problems. Limitations can feel frustrating, but they're also powerful creative fuel. Jobs and his teams often worked within tight constraints, which pushed them to be more innovative. Instead of resisting limitations, use them to sharpen your focus and creativity. Constraints force you to make better choices and discover hidden strengths. Simplicity is not achieved in one shot, it's the result of constant refinement. Jobs was notorious for pushing teams to keep iterating until something was perfect. In your own work or personal growth, refining means revisiting, improving, and never settling for good enough. Excellence lives in the details. Every yes adds complexity. Every no protects simplicity. Jobs was famously decisive, saying no to dozens of ideas so Apple could stay focused. In life, saying no isn't selfish, it's necessary. Protect your time, energy, and priorities by learning the art of a firm but graceful no. Simplicity signals honesty. Complicated products, messages, or people often feel suspicious. Jobs understood that when something is simple and clear, people trust it more. By simplifying your communication and actions, you build credibility. You show that you have nothing to hide and that you respect the people you serve. The best teachers don't overwhelm, they clarify. Jobs had the gift of breaking down big ideas into relatable, memorable insights. Whether you're mentoring, parenting, or leading, teaching through simplicity helps others grow. It shows you care enough to make things understandable. Simplicity isn't a one-time effort, it's a mindset. Jobs didn't just chase simplicity in products, he made it a company-wide standard. Adopting simplicity as your standard elevates everything you do. It challenges you to bring clarity, focus, and elegance to every area of your life. Every unnecessary element is a hidden tax on time, energy, and attention. Jobs challenged his teams constantly. Do we really need this? You can apply the same principle to your projects, relationships, and habits. By questioning what's unnecessary, you make room for excellence. Simplicity starts at the top. Jobs didn't just demand simplicity, he lived it. From his personal style to his leadership, he set the tone. When you lead by example, you inspire others to follow. Your commitment to simplicity creates a ripple effect in your family, team, or community. A scattered mind achieves little, a focused mind moves mountains. Jobs kept Apple's goals razor-sharp: one iPhone, one iPad, one MacBook at a time. Simplifying your goals helps you move with clarity and purpose. Instead of chasing everything, chase the right things. Complexity often hides insecurity, while simplicity reveals quiet confidence. Jobs' minimalist approach reflected his belief in the strength of the product, not the noise around it. Humility helps you stay focused on what matters, without the need to impress. When you stay humble, you invite others to engage with authenticity. Simple things touch the heart in ways complexity never can. Jobs understood that behind every device was a human story, a moment, an emotion. By simplifying, you make space for emotional connection. Whether it's a speech, a product, or an act of kindness, simplicity creates unforgettable impact. Simplicity takes time. Behind every elegant solution is hours of thought, iteration, and editing. Jobs knew this and was willing to invest in the process. Make time in your own life to simplify, whether it's cleaning up your workspace, refining your ideas, or clearing mental clutter. The reward is profound clarity. Trendy fades, timeless endures. Jobs didn't chase what was fashionable, he aimed for what would still feel right decades later. When you pursue timeless simplicity, you create work and a life that stands the test of time. It's a quiet rebellion against the noise of the moment. Jobs' signature wasn't complexity, it was breathtaking simplicity. It became what Apple was known for, loved for, and trusted for. You can make simplicity your signature, too. Let it show up in how you speak, create, lead, and live. People will remember you for it. Simplicity is not just a design principle, it's a way of life. Jobs embodied simplicity in his choices, priorities, and mindset. When you live simply, you free yourself to focus on what matters most. It's the ultimate sophistication because it reflects clarity, confidence, and depth.